Right now, from coast to coast, across presidential battlegrounds, it's all coming down to this night and this choice. Hillary Clinton seeking to break the ultimate glass ceiling. Donald Trump hoping to shatter expectations again. After months of twists and turns, the first results now just minutes away.
And we're going to win because of you.
I will totally accept the results if I win.
This is going to be a great one. We got Trump versus Hillary, 2016. This is when everything changed. The momentum absolutely went the other way, and it shocked the entire world. And to this day, we're still dealing with these ramifications of what Trump did to the deep state, the government, the world, global economy. Like it's insane. So this is on election night. Without further ado, let's get into it.
60 electoral votes, and ABC News can project that Donald Trump has won the state of Kentucky. That was a state won by Bill Clinton twice, 1992 and 1996, Republican ever since then. Donald Trump the winner tonight. Up in Vermont, 3 electoral votes. Hillary Clinton wins those 3 electoral votes. Of course, that is the home state of Bernie Sanders, her rival in the primaries. Solid blue state. Hillary Clinton gets that tonight. And Nate, tell us where you have your final forecast as we're coming into the evening.
So we wound up with Clinton having a 71% chance of winning, so better than 2 and 3. And we'll update that as the night goes along, as you guys, ABC News, calls states. So far, obviously, no game changer with Trump winning Kentucky or Clinton winning Vermont. The people I follow think the returns look good so far for Clinton in Florida, of course, which is a must-win state for Trump.
They're going to have one concession speech and one victory speech. But that said, I think it would come as a real shock to this campaign if she ended up delivering that concession speech.
Well, first of all, I'm smiling because you can sense the energy here at Javits Center in New York City. We have thousands of people pouring in for what we hope is going to be a celebration tonight of the first woman president of the United States.
Why are you so confident about the White House? Because I'm confident in the American people.
If you look back, do you have any regrets that you didn't get into Michigan sooner in a bigger way?
You know, I think Donald Trump's campaign might be regretting that they didn't compete harder. I would argue around the country by building a ground game like Hillary decided to, but also, you know, competing harder in a state like Michigan.
All right, take a look at this. We project that Hillary Clinton will carry her home state of New York. That's 29 electoral votes. Hillary Clinton will win New York State. That's Donald Trump's home state as well. Hillary Clinton carries the Empire State. Donald Trump will carry a huge prize, Texas, with all of its 38 electoral votes. A big win for Donald Trump in the state of Texas.
Our Republican presidential candidate and his monstrosity and his lewd, vile, he's become a national disgrace for Republican rallies in so many ways. And that's why you're seeing a sharp divide within the GOP party, and they've parted ways and they've distanced themselves from him.
I want to ask you about that because we now know that former President George H.W. Bush voted for Hillary Clinton. George W. Bush said he left his ballot blank but did not vote for Donald Trump. Your 2 previous nominees, John McCain and Mitt Romney, both did not vote for Donald Trump. How much did that hurt you?
It doesn't help, and it's very personally disappointing, even though I respect all 4 of the people you just mentioned. And the irony for Donald Trump is he's been able to grow this party in places and among voter groups without having the full support of some of these elected officials.
Donald Trump will win the state of Florida. According to the Fox News decision desk, he will win the 29 electoral votes in Florida.
That was the change that Trump needed, and to win Florida was huge, right? If he didn't win Florida, there was no way he was going to win. And when that happened, I think a lot of people were pretty shocked.
A very tight race, but he is pulling that off. As you can see, the crowds outside here cheering. 49% to 47% right now, but we can project that he is going to win Florida. That means he has won Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio.
These guys are going nuts. There is so much confidence here tonight. They were nervous, obviously, before the polls closed. Tonight, they're very confident.
This was the one that for the last month, the Clinton folks said, if we win Florida, it's all over. Donald Trump absolutely needed it. He got it. And now, as we've talked about, He has many different ways to get to the 270 votes he needs to be the next president of the United States.
Wolf, the scene here is so different than it was a few hours ago when people were happy and relaxed. I have been looking around the room at people who are stone-faced. Some of them have been crying. We have seen people leaving the venue, including some who have been sitting on the risers behind the podium where Hillary Clinton is supposed to speak. There are people who are just in shock. I've seen mouths open as folks here in the audience are watching the results come in, many of them with their arms crossed and a hand to their mouth. They are just stunned as they watch what is going on here.
When we first got here about 3 or 4 hours ago, this mood in the room was pretty lackluster. This room wasn't full at all. We were questioning, where is everybody? Where is everybody? Now it's totally full. The supporters behind me, as you can see, have broken out in chants of USA, USA, are booing the Clinton campaign when they show up on the monitors behind us. The bars are open.
At this point, if he wins Michigan,
It's done.
it's done. He's there.
Prior to that, he had been hemorrhaging in the polls, right? We had the Access Hollywood. We had all the female accusers come out. Prior to that, it was the Alicia Machado thing, and there was just all sorts of traps. So the debates didn't help him. The numbers were not on his side.
This is exactly what they've been doing since the beginning. This is 8 years ago, 9 years ago at this point. They have always had 3, 4, 5 different career-ending stories simultaneously happening to Trump, and the guy didn't waver a single time through all of that. And this is I wish there was a running tally of how many quote-unquote scandals and bad things he has done. It would be so funny to see what they deem right as bad and scandalous.
But there was a shift a couple of weeks before this election night, and from the look of it, she never recovered.
Glass ceiling here was no accident. That was the metaphor that she was supposed to have shattered. And of course, absolutely none of it has happened, and they really can't quite believe it. They thought early in the night they could knock Trump out by winning Florida. That would make it impossible, but they failed to do that.
Nate Silver is joining us right now. And Nate, a pretty dramatic change in your forecast now.
Well, it's not about our forecast. It's about the fact that we haven't had any swing states called yet. And those are states that Clinton was supposed to win Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Those states are all correlated, meaning that if you have problems with white working class voters, if you don't turn out African Americans, then you potentially lose those states or win by a razor thin margin. I mean, she is in profound trouble right now in the Electoral College.
You're looking at the battleground states right now, the states in blue, Hillary Clinton, states in red, Donald Trump. And in the remaining states, Donald Trump has numeric lead.
I like how in 2016, these were the battlegrounds. So Ohio's straight red. That's not a battleground anymore. New Hampshire is not a battleground. Florida is not a battleground. Colorado, a little closer, but definitely not a battleground. Iowa, no. So roughly, it just dropped a few of them. So we got 13. Now it's down to 7 battleground states. So the country's getting, people are moving where they want to vote. And it really shows through what the battlegrounds were in 2016 compared to now.
In just about all of them.
CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Wisconsin. He will win Wisconsin with its 10 electoral votes. He's cracked the so-called blue wall.
President Trump may be something that everybody needs to get used to, including the Republican Party. And I have to say here's 3 people, smart minds in the Republican Party. And I think we all thought it couldn't happen, that he couldn't do this on the power of white voters alone, that he couldn't do what he did. And guess what? He may just do it. Mike Murphy, what did you miss?
Boy, I missed a lot. Under the normal rules of politics, he couldn't put it together, but he's broken the normal rules and he's getting votes he shouldn't get at a huge level among white America, where partisanship doesn't seem to have the same glue. States like Wisconsin, which are full of white Democrats who apparently in big numbers are voting for him.
Does Bernie Sanders lose Wisconsin? Anybody?
A complete earthquake. This was an earthquake unlike any earthquake I've really seen since Ronald Reagan in 1980. It just came out of nowhere.
I don't know why anyone should be surprised that people, the media, the polls have been wrong again. I think this has just been a very, very incredibly unpredictable election. Donald Trump obviously knew something that a lot of people did.
What are you hearing tonight? What are you reading?
Well, let's just cut to the chase. Assuming, and that's what we're talking about, that he does win. People I'm speaking to think it's absolutely catastrophic, that it's catastrophic for the United States, that it's catastrophic for our position in the world.
This is a modern day political miracle you're witnessing before your eyes right now. And that is to go up against everybody and all the pundits and all the pollsters and all the prognosticators out there and defy all the odds. And it's the American people that have said enough is enough.
People have talked about a miracle.
Sean Hannity's couldn't be more right. It was mind-blowing to see what he accomplished back then. The politics was something different in 2016, and whatever it was, Trump changed all of it. Everything changed, and against absolutely everything. It is wild to really look back on now that he's in there again. It's insane. And the amount he learned the first time being in there really, really has changed. And he has figured out the way to get in and get stuff done this time and appoint the people he knows is going to do a good job. And it's just so crazy to see the evolution from 2016 till now. It's mind-blowing.
Miracle. I'm hearing about a nightmare. It's hard to be a parent tonight for a lot of us. You tell your kids, don't be a bully. You tell your kids, don't be a bigot. You tell your kids, do your homework and be prepared. And then you have this outcome, and you have people putting children to bed tonight, and they're afraid of breakfast. They're afraid of, how do I explain this to my children?
Huge news. Actually, the AP now projecting that Donald Trump has won the state of Pennsylvania.
That is the race, frankly. There is no path forward for Hillary Clinton.
They're going to make this decision now. The Fox News decision desk has called Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States, winning the most unreal, surreal election we have ever seen.
Everybody should head home. You should get some sleep. We'll have more to say tomorrow.
CNN can report that Hillary Clinton has called Donald Trump to concede the race.
The president-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Did she really concede if she kept saying that he was an illegitimate president for 4 years till now, right? Like, I mean, it's been 8 years of her saying that. So I don't know if you consider that really conceding. Look at Barron.
Hillary has worked very long and very hard over a long period of time, and we owe her a major debt of gratitude for her service to our country. I mean that very sincerely. Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division, have to get together. To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across this nation, I say it is time for us to come together as one united people. It's time.
How improbable is this, what we're seeing right now, that Donald Trump has defeated Hillary Clinton to become president-elect of the United States?
There has never been anyone elected to the presidency of this country who had not at least served in government or the military before. He is as much of an outsider as possible.
Hillary Clinton was brutally repudiated tonight, and Donald Trump's most populist arguments, rough as they were embraced.
Thank you all. I
I know how disappointed you feel because I feel it too. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead. Our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power. And we don't just respect that, we cherish it. This loss hurts, but please never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it.
Coming up in part 2.
Donald, you're a sniveling coward.
A business genius he is not.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
Wow. All right. This is if they have a part 2 of this, I'm definitely gonna watch it. This was awesome. Looking back on kind of what transpired during the 2016 election is just wild, right? That night is just something different, and every single year, every single election year is just you always remember where you were and what you were doing, and this is a great watch. Anybody remember what they were doing on this night, put it in the comments if you made it this far. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share. Smooth, unfiltered. Peace.